Hello YouTubes! So we got us the Home Depot 7-foot Inferno Reaper. Let's unbox this bad boy, put them together, take a look at them. Okay YouTube, so he's a pretty big box. There's no artwork or anything. Thank you, Peppers. Because it looks like our instructions are on the outside of the box. If this thing had gotten wet, that could have been a disaster. So let's look inside and see what this thing comes with. So I guess when you order these online, you don't get the pretty box. So we got basically just a plain tan cardboard box, and it looks like our instructions are on the outside cover. So if this thing had gotten wet or stuck in the mail or sat outside for a while, we could have lost our way to put this thing together. So we just had to figure out the old school way. Okay, we got some cardboard, and we have another box. Fancy that. Son of a bitch. I'm already exhausted. I ain't got anything damn thing done yet. Alright, Reaper. Round 2. Okay, so we got our plain white box. No markings or instructions on it. Okay, finally getting some product here. Yes, we are. Alright, okay. More cardboard. Hey, they gave us instructions, so, not too bad. All black and white. Hopefully they're in English, since this is made in China. Partnered with, Built? I don't know, Built. Okay, so, let's start pulling some parts out. Take a look at this guy. This must be his little stick. Comes with some kind of like a bone, oh, it's part J right there, so that's kind of cool. We got some Velcro, so that's not a good sign. Got some metal hooks in the hand, so he must sort of slide in on metal pieces, so that's actually pretty promising. So we got us a hand. We got us a robe with some dollar store rope. Okay, robe. Got us some poles. Okay, here's his chest section, section P, and there is his sensor right here on the bottom of the rib cage, so we got to be careful of that. But that's actually pretty good, thick, dense plastic, so I'm kind of happy with that. And again, 2 hooks in the back, so you must slide into something. So we've got some other pieces wrapped in, this must be an arm, wrapped in some pool noodle or something. This must be his Reaper hook. Now that's going to be heavy for an animatronic. Okay, we got probably another arm. We got us some poles. So some of this must be legs, some of this must be his little scythe, I'm assuming? Don't know. Got us a control panel, letter E, so maybe this is his head, I don't know. Put that there. An adapter, I'm assuming, for his electronics. We got us a hand. Now the hand's actually pretty cool. It's blow molded, so I kind of dig that. Pretty hefty. Looks like it's pretty strong. And the paint's pretty cool too, so far, I'm pretty happy with this guy. Got us a mysterious another box. Okay. Oh, this is his hood. Okay, so we got some creepy cloth and maybe it's his towel or something. I don't know. Okay, we got us this stand. So this must be what goes on the ground. Some cardboard. Thank you, China. I don't know if we need this or not, so alright. Looks like the last part over there is head or shoulders. Don't know, couldn't tell you. And maybe this is his head. Did I not come across a head yet? Let's see if we get us a head in here. Alright. Gotta have a head. We're gonna have a Reaper. Oh, okay. We do got a head. Not too bad. Okay, so he's a hard plastic head, so I like that. Looks like his jaws hinge, and he's got a little electric cord here. So I'm gonna slap this guy together, and when we see him, I'll plug him in, and we'll get him operating and see what he looks like. Okay, YouTubes. So far so good, man. Went together real nice. His 2 legs snap together in 2 sections, snap right into his base. You drop his little dress down on top of it. I got one little motor here. It's got a little plastic rain guard, which is actually pretty cool. And they capped off all the pipes at little pool noodle section so you don't scratch anything. So I like that attention to detail, Home Depot. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to keep on going. We'll take a look at him. Okay, YouTubes, I got this guy put together. He wasn't so bad. My buddy Eric Weber was telling me that he had a hard time putting his show together and broke it. So if you want to use a little anti-seize for that, that'll help. This guy is definitely big. He looks like he was smaller in the store, so I want to check his height just for the hell of it. Supposedly he's 7 feet tall. And I'll be damned, he sure is 7 feet tall. So that's pretty awesome, Home Depot. Get in line there. There's a couple other things I want to show you guys. Most of his clothes Velcro on. His hood is a whole separate piece. It just Velcros on top of his head. His little robe Velcros under his rib cage. And you got to keep your sensor open. And the same as his wrist. Everything, this sort of felty material, you're just supposed to stick to the wrist, but it doesn't really stick all that good. And all the controls are on the back. There's actually a sound control. I'll flip this guy around and I'll show you that. It's pretty cool. Okay, YouTube, so we got the Inferno Reaper open up in the back. His whole back, from the back of his head to the middle of his neck, just go ahead and Velcros together. Here's his control box. He's got a volume for high and low, which is really cool. His adapter plugs in up high, which is also really great. And everything's color-coded, so you can't screw it up. So everything up to his head comes out of the box. You got your color-coded lines. They only fit one way. And for the bottom. So, home run, man. He's real super easy to put together. Let's kill the lights, turn this bad boy on. Okay, YouTube, got him in dim light. Let's turn him on.
Yes, you are right to coward fear. Your actions have brought me up to this world, and I will not leave until I have another soul for the taking.
Alright, let's try total darkness.
You there, I have come. Your time on this earth is at an end. Prepare yourself, for your misery has only begun, and I would be happy to inflict more.
Okay, YouTube, so overall, I like him, man. He's at a 9-foot power cord, which is pretty great. I don't like that you can kind of see that his effect disappears down here in his chest. I like to see more of that. I really don't like the way his eyes have the LEDs in there. There's no color on his eyes. It's sort of clear. He doesn't have any spaces between his teeth, so let's tear him apart. Let's make some tweaks, man. We just can't leave him like this. Okay, YouTubes, so the first thing I didn't like about his hand was the position. It's a great hand. It's hard plastic. It'll be great outside. That's cool. It's big because this guy is 7 foot tall. Big Daddy's a big boy. So I wanted to take this little bracket off the back of his hand and see if I couldn't flip it. If I got to bend the tabs a little bit, I will, which I think I may have to. And I'll put the screws back in there so we can make his hand hold upright. And I thought, when I was at home this year, at home this year, they had a cool Reaper, really similar animatronic Reaper that was awesome looking. He had a skull in his hand, so I thought, let's put a skull in this guy's hand, man. It's totally cool. So you guys know how I do. I got my Nightmare Maker's mold, and I went ahead. It's a silicone mold. You know, it's a rigid foam mold, but rigid foam is really heavy. And with this being an animatronic, his head moves, his waist moves. I don't want to add any more weight to this guy than I absolutely have to and start throwing off his animatronics or burn up his motors. So I went ahead and I made this little guy in the same Nightmare Maker's mold, but with Loctite foam. This thing is super light. He's creepy. I got a couple of rigid foam horns in him because I just like making demon skulls for the hell of it. It's fun. So I think we're going to put this in his hand. So I'm going to flip his black bracket around, and then, oh, look at that. That's almost like a perfect fit, man. How freaking awesome is that? So in his empty hand, he'll have a palm. Now, you could use a plastic skull, but the plastic skull is obviously a little bit heavier than the Loctite foam skull, so it's a piece of crap anyways. It's a plastic junker Home Depot skull. Just get yourself some Nightmare Makers. Don't use anything else. They have the best molds. Buy their stuff, use their stuff. They have the best. So I'm going to go ahead and get this hand flipped around, put the screws back in there, and we're going to move on to that head. We got to do something about that head, man. Okay, YouTube, so one other thing before we jump on the head, I wanted to finish off his arm. The padding's a little weak. It's real wide, you can see, so it's kind of weak. So I took some of those little pipe protectors they gave us, and I cut back some of the padding, and I gave him a thicker wrist. So I'm going to take some of this cheesecloth I got from At Home earlier. It's a really light kind of wispy material, like perfect for like a mummy. I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot of spray glue, and I'm going to wrap this around his forearms to give him some bandages, because we're going to change his outfit too. So this will give him some cool sleeves to tie off his arm. And I'll go ahead and I'll cut some more and I'll wrap his arm so he has an extra layer of detail hanging out of his robe. Okay, YouTubes, so I was working on his skull hand. That one's wrapped. I'm getting ready to jump over on the left hand side, his staff hand. And I figured, man, they got this hand on there somehow. I wonder if I could take it apart. So I took a screw out of the inside of his palm, popped the screw out, took a screw out of the staff, and I separated the staff. So now we got a bone staff that we don't need any longer. So I think what I'm going to try and do is use a wooden staff, and they're both about the same Same weight, they don't seem that heavy or different. So I think I'm going to try and go with a wooden staff versus the bone staff and make them a little bit different than everybody else's. So I'm going to work on that. If I got to die grind a little bit, I'll fill it with foam to get his hand over it. And I think we're going to go with the wooden staff for this Reaper, make them different than everybody else's. So now we're going to get on that head. Okay, YouTubes, so I got the Reaper's head. One of the things I definitely don't like is these glass eyes. You can kind of see the LEDs behind them, so I thought I could mask them somehow. So I got us a big old bag of ping pong balls. I'm going to dig one out. I think I'm going to go with yellow. Son of a bitch. Come on. Okay. I think I'm going to go with yellow. I think I'm going to try and cut this down and maybe use it as almost like a contact for his eye. So we'll grab us a razor blade. And I'll start just cutting this swing probably down the center. Yeah, most definitely got to do some trimming, but it is translucent, as you can see. So I think our fire effect will show up behind there. So I'm going to go ahead and trim these guys down, give them to fit, and then we'll glue them on. Okay, YouTube, so I went ahead and cut the eyes out. I just cut one to fit, then traced the other one on top of the ping pong ball. And I thought, you know, I want to give it a little bit of color. It was a big block of yellow. So I did go ahead and I spray painted it with some burgundy. It's kind of a see-through color, an opaque color. And I figured I just want to scratch from the center out. So we have sort of a red ring around that eye where the light should still shine through. And if not, we could always add some more later. I can do some airbrushing around it. So I'm going to do this to both the eyeballs. And just kind of drag that color to the outside. That would almost looks like a burned out retina or something like that. Like maybe he's going blind or something. But we still have our center spot that's the brighter color. So I'm going to go ahead and get these both sanded back. And then I'm going to go ahead and just use E6000 glue because it's translucent or transparent. It'll stick to the lens and we can drop our eyes in there. And I want to move on to that mouth and do something. Okay, YouTube, so I went ahead and glued his little eyeballs in. They kind of look bloodshot and distorted like his retinas and stuff, so I think that's really cool. Plus it's E6000, so if I don't like them, I can always pop them off later and put a new color on or change them out, no big deal. Another thing that bothers me about the head is the teeth. The teeth are cool, they're molded nice, but I want to do more of the teeth and really detail the teeth, because I think when the kids walk up on this thing, it's going to be over their head. They're looking up at this face. I hate when there's no gaps between teeth, so I took a little hacksaw. This guy is single wall plastic right here, and single wall plastic on his upper lip. And man, a hacksaw goes right in between his teeth. So just like a Nightmare Maker's skull, I just took the little hacksaw blade. And went right between his teeth. So now I got that little gap there. We're going to paint these. There's actually a lot of options you guys can do. You guys know I like to give you guys options. If you don't want to file down all your skeleton's teeth, you could always add teeth, cut them out, glue in some pumpkin teeth or some fake teeth of any kind. You guys could put a whole lip in from like the Dollar Tree. They sell the little pirate teeth, or they sell like the little werewolf teeth, whatever the fangs. You guys can easily cut the teeth out and swap teeth right in to completely change the look of your guy. But I think for this guy, I like the teeth. I'm going to go ahead and file the teeth down. I'm going to paint them, put some wax in between them to make them all dirty and gnarly so it looks like he's got some serious meth mouth. And then I want to do some horns, man. We cannot have this guy and not have horns. So I'm going to knock out the mouth. I'm going to file all the teeth, open them up, open the little gaps, maybe knock some out, make them all gnarly, and then we're going to pick some horns for this guy. Okay, YouTubes, look at those beautiful choppers. That guy's got a beautiful mouth. Alright, so now I want to go over horns. I definitely want to put a set of horns in this guy. So I've got a bunch of horns. There's like some Party City horns, some foam ones from Halloween City a couple of years ago. Here's some little spirit horns. More of the same. But I like to put something on that makes him like, even like bigger than he is. Something that's not so plasticky. What I think we might do is, I'm going to use my set of horns, the ones I failed at. I molded these guys, I failed them, but I got a couple of sets. I gave one to Brother Vic over at Monster Misfits for some of his projects to try. So I think I want to put a set of these ram's horns on him. It's the second to last pair I have. And I think that'll be awesome. I mean, some really big, badass horns for this guy since he is 7 foot tall. So I'm just going to try and orient them, maybe like so. Figure out how they go. And that'd be cool. Maybe kick them forward a little bit. I'm sort of liking that. Give me a marker. Marker. It's okay because only my hiv's on it. Okay. Maybe this one like here or so. Yeah. This So I'll do roughly right here around his little patch of Velcro. Then I'll flatten these horns out. We'll put this guy on this side. Now that'll be badass. Alright. Okay, we'll use these horns. I'll shave them down. I don't know how far we can drill into this thing without hitting electronics. I'm definitely going to use some 1/4-inch rod to secure these guys in, just in case this guy falls. I don't want them just glued to the surface because they'll snap right off. Not cool. So I'll definitely drill 2 holes in here. Once I get them flattened out for his skull, I'll put 2 pieces of rod and glue them in, and we'll glue right into the head. So, okay, YouTubes. So I went ahead and shaved the horns down. I've got 1/4-inch dowels from the Dollar Tree in there, super glued down inside the horn. So that should secure them in case the guy falls down or gets bumped. They're not going to be knocked right off just of a surface bond. I did go ahead and drill 2 holes in his skull, so I've got some coordinating holes for each horn. And for the glue, I'm not going to super glue them in because I want more of a surface than that. So I've got some Loctite Power Grab adhesive. It's heavy duty. You could use liquid nails. You could use super glue if you want. But I want a little bit of the excess to pop out because we're going to brush that and use that to spread that out. To hold the horn and grab it all around the base of the horn. I did take some 80 grit paper and sand it around the horn so we get a nice tooth, because again I hate gluing or painting on anything shiny. That'll give it a nice seat for the caulk to grab onto. So I'm just going to go around here, put a big old blob on. Then I'm going to take this horn, this is this hide. And luckily I didn't hit any electronics that I know of. Okay, let's let that squeeze out. Ram that horn in there. So we got a nice little ooze coming out all the way around. And we're just going to take our little acid brush and we're going to brush that right up on the horn. And tap it in there. Spread it a little bit out in the skull just to give it some grabbing power and holding power over the years. Pretty easy. Alright, something like that. I'm going to go ahead and glue his other horn on, then I'll probably paint this guy. I'm not going to go any crazy colors. I just want to put like a layer of filth on him, so I'll probably use some transparent dirt colors, some red rust colors. But I'll get them dialed in. And I think next we got to work on that chest. Okay, YouTube, so our head's done, horns are on, and I did some quickie paint on them. So let's get on this chest. Alright, so here is our chest center section. I'd really like to have some more of the light from this thing pouring out from under the ribs, since it's basically just centralized just in between the ribs is the only place that shows light. So I wondered if I couldn't wipe some of this off and see if I could cut through that color right there. Obviously this is molded color, but I figured I'd give it a shot and see if I could take off some of the color and let the light feed through. Nah, nothing. Alright, so this thing is molded in this solid green color. So as a backup, again, we'll just go ahead and we'll paint a coat of filth on it. I'm going to use the red rust. I love this color. It's transparent, so it won't bog down our color. And we have to be kind of careful because it looks like there's some creepy cloth on top of a little plastic shield, and that's what's inside of his chest area. So that stuff might be pretty flimsy over the years. I don't know, he'll only stay out, you know, Halloween night, so not really worried about it. But if the sucker ever breaks, I'm cracking this whole thing apart in the back, and I'm going in. Alright, so let's paint this guy up a little bit. We'll throw the red rust on him, because it's transparent. And I'll do just like the head. Oh, you know what, before I even run out of paint over that sensor, I'm just going to use a little Play-Doh trick, cover up the sensor, because those things are really damn sensitive. Don't want to get that ruined. And I better tuck his wires behind him too. Don't want to paint on the wires. Alright, so we'll do that. And we'll just kind of put some color on him. And you could use spray paint, you could use anything really. And because this is a transparent, if you put it and you feel like it's on too dark, I'll show you right here, which I kind of like the dark, you can just take a rag and wipe it away so that your dirt stays down on the bottom, your lighter parts are on top. If you want to dry brush on top, but I kind of like the dirty, nasty, whole earthy tone of this guy, so I'm just going to go full blast, man. And again, this should not mute the flame effect in his chest. So I'm just going to go ahead and blast over everything. Kind of tie him all together. And I might do a little dry brush on him just in the center or so. But I think for the most part, we'll call him done for now. We got to jump over to the staff. I want to show you guys how I'm going to fix the staff problem. Okay, YouTubes, so at the bottom of the Inferno Reaper, they have this peg welded on the base. This is for his staff, his bone staff, to sit and be able to rotate on. So I thought I would take a piece of 1/2-inch PVC. I cut a little piece off. That'll sit on the bottom of the peg, and then I'll connect that to our wooden staff. I'll either screw it in there, I'll whittle this down a little bit, so that our staff rotates freely and doesn't burn up the motors or bind anything, and that should solve our problem for using a wooden staff versus the plastic bone one. Okay, YouTubes, so to solve our last problem where our bone staff used to go through, now that we're going to the wooden staff, I'm going to just go ahead and take my cordless drill with the die grinder bit, and I'm going to open up that hole so that the staff floats in his hand as he moves side to side. This way it won't bind, and we can swap out the bone staff for a cool wooden one. So I want to show you this guy. We're going to put him on the staff. Because weight is an issue for animatronics, I went ahead and made a number 6 Nightmare Maker skull with just Loctite foam. It's super light, and the guy bounces around super easy, so it shouldn't put any more weight or stress on the motors of the animatronics. I got 1-inch little wooden eyeballs in there that I painted a blacklight orange color, and it's just spray glue, spray paint, a little bit of blowtorch work to kind of shrink them up, make them all gnarly and nasty looking. So we're going to use him to top our staff. Okay, YouTube, so let's talk about our Inferno Reaper dress. So he came with this dollar store rope belt and lightweight dress, probably for animatronic sake purposes for motors. I want to change out his belt. I'm going to give him Damien's belt from last year. This is just duck cloth. This goes on his waist, so the motor turns from the waist up, so I should be fine to put a belt on there. I think that'll look pretty cool for him since he's mostly in like filthy earth tones and stuff, so that works out pretty good. And if you guys saw my M8C video, if not, I'll post it, my M8C haul video, I'll post the link below. I went and saw Rob at Resurrect Costumes, and I bought this awesome like robe from him. It's already got holes, and it's got this cool kind of coppery glint to it. It's super cool. And I thought, man, let's put this on the Inferno Reaper. He's mostly done in crusty earth tones, and he's just nasty and fill. So I'll distress this, and I'm going to get this guy dressed and throw some accessories and stuff on him, just kind of finish him out. And I'll probably use some creepy cloth, because I stock creepy cloth in all 6 colors. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy knocked out and dressed. And the next time we see him, he's going to be in the graveyard. We're going to do some nighttime shots, take a look at him at the dark. I'm going to put this guy together, and we're going to take a look at him. Okay, YouTubes, we're in the graveyard. I got him set into place. Hit it, Bones.
Yes, you are right, coward and fear. Your actions have brought me up to this world, and I will not leave until I have another soul for the taking.
Pretty cool, man. He turned out pretty awesome. Let me back up and I'll show you a little more. His chest lights up just fine. Head movement's still good with the added weight of the horns. He just looks cool, man. He even looks creepy when he's not running. There's his other little skull hand. And his skirts. So all the animatronics still work great. Wish he had more than one phrase, though.
You are all mine in the end. No matter if you are royalty or peasant, I will cut you down in time. There can be no escape. Your soul is mine.
Okay, YouTubes, that's our Home Depot Inferno Reaper. Man, what a quick, fast overhaul we did on this guy. We added some rigid horns from my ram's horn fail video. I used my painter's tack cloths instead of my 6 shades of creepy cloth to kind of dial them up a little bit. We painted them. We used my AMHC rope that I got from Resurrect Costumes. We put a Loctite skull in his hand to keep the weight down, so we didn't use rigid foam because those are heavier. You can see he still operates fine and twists like he's supposed to. We did another rigid, or not rigid foam, we did another Loctite skull on his staff and got rid of that goofy bone 4-piece staff thing that he came with. It was kind of crappy. And that skull just wedges down on there. I don't have any glue or anything on it. I can change it out. I may add another one next year. And if I want to glue it down, all I got to do is foam his hand right onto the stick, and I can pop his hand off with the stick. It'll come right off for storage and anything else. But man, we just added Damien's skirt from the Demon. Just some odds and ends and little stuff, man. We, decked out this whole guy. We put some lenses over his eyes, some paint, made him a little grimier or nastier and filthier or meaner. I think the kids are going to get a kick out of him. I'm going to put him probably over by the witch for Halloween so the kids can interact with them when they walk up the driveway. I'll be able to hear them so then I know they're coming. But yeah, man, what a blast, man. Home Depot, they slayed it this year with the 7-foot Inferno Reaper. I love it, man. I hope they have them for a lot of years. I think you guys are kicking Spirit's ass, and I think it's great, man. You guys get a chance, go check my brothers in the Trio of Terror, Vic over at Monster Misfits, and Dave at the Weird Kid Show, guys. We're doing projects nonstop. It never stops for us. It's Halloween year-round for all of us. So one of us is always putting something out, so there's plenty of stuff for you guys to watch, man. So until I see you guys again, keep it evil. You too, big boy. Hey, asshole. This graveyard is only big enough for one Reaper.